Good morning, afternoon, or evening. This is Adam with the Theory, and welcome to another episode of Adam's Theory. All right, before I start this video, I just wanted to say that thank you to everyone that has liked and subscribed to the videos. I hit the 150 mark. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it means a lot to me. So thank you very much for the love. I appreciate it, and it definitely encourages me to keep on doing this, which I love very, very much. All right, so the Monster Manual has come out, and I think a lot of people have been talking about the fact that we've been talking about orcs. Now, if you don't know, I love orcs. I love my orcs. My orcs, those are my babies. I love them. Orc Nation over here. And a lot of people are just talking about the fact that in the new Monster Manual that's come out, there's no orcs. And you got some people that's a little bit upset about it. Some people are cool. So I know no one asked for Adam's opinion on it. But guess what? You're going to get it. I am happy that there's no more orcs in the Monster Manual. I am. I'm sorry. I'm that guy on the other side of the fence. I understand that you old school D&D players and DMs, you guys are in your feelings about it because, you can't set up orcs for your adventures, for your party to go and kill. But, yeah, I'm happy about that. And I like to kind of explain why. So, I'm not going to lie. I'm still new to D&D, okay? I've been playing D&D for, I would say, about 3 years. So I'm getting my information through the internet and just through my own personal experience, which may be a little limited. I know that some people that's watching these videos, they've been playing D&D for 10 to 15 years and they have their different opinions of it, which I'm totally cool with. And that's the whole part about this community. We have discussions and we talk about it. Even though I like to think I'm right about everything, I could be wrong. And if I am, let's talk about it. So the reason why I love the fact that they don't have orcs in the Monster Manual is when I'm playing these low-level adventures, level 1 through 5, it usually always have a little encounter with the orcs. We go into a village. Oh no, there's an orc. There's a bunch of orcs. They're about to raid us. Oh my God, rah rah rah. And I'm like, all right, the first time, all right, that's cool. I understand that. But after like 4 or 5, I'm looking like times I'm playing the game, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, there's other monsters besides orcs that we can fight. You know that? Like, so you telling me elves are, they're cool and everything. They never want to go and just raid a village. You telling me, dwarves are cool with you being close to their mountains and stuff like that? Tieflings, dragonborns and stuff like that. Hell, man, even a bunch of aggressive halflings. I'm cool, So I've always just had an issue with the fact that in every adventure, starting at level 1 or 3, we're always fighting orcs. I'm cool with them switching it up and everything. Let's fight some like aggressive wood elves and everything that want to go in. Hey, you've been cutting down too many trees, so we got to go and see you. Or some dwarves that, hey, you've been mining in our mountain and everything, so now we got to put these hammers to your kneecap. Let's spice it up a little bit. And I don't blame DMs for this. I honestly blame Wizards of the Coast because of the fact that the adventures they actually make, they always start out with this. It's always orcs. With second place goes to goblins. Second place, goblins. All right. So, which, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of goblins. They're cool and stuff like that. But once again, hey, we don't always gotta fight goblins either. It always doesn't gotta be orcs and goblins. You have a monster manual with over 500 different monsters in it. I am pretty sure you can find another race that just want to go and raid the village and for your D&D party to go and fight and save the day. All right? Also, orcs. I understand that some D&D old D&D players, they like the fact that it's like, hey, orcs are just evil and everything, and that's why they do the things they got to do, and that's why you got to kill them. To me, I just feel that's kind of. I understand we did that back in the day, and it's very easy. Oh, they're evil. Let's just kill them. Boom. But in my personal opinion, I just feel that's kind of boring. I don't want to just fight a villain or an enemy that just I'm just evil for the sake of just being evil. Let's add some nuance to it. Let's add a little flavor to it. Curse of Strahd, in my personal opinion, the reason why it is one of the best modules for players and DMs to do is that Curse of Strahd isn't. You could debate if he's evil or he is just somebody that's just doing the wrong things for the right reasons type of thing, And anytime I go and I play the Curse of Strahd game, I'm always conflicted, and I always have to talk to the party. Like, I can understand, hey, you love somebody and they don't love you and stuff, and I know I'm going off topic, but it's like, dang, man, like, yo, because I'm thinking about Strahd, and I'm like, hey, I love this girl, and I'm trying to talk to her, and my own brother goes and tries to go and wife her up. Like, that's kind of wrong and everything. But you know what? I'm gonna do a Curse of Strahd video later on about later on. But back to the topic of orcs. I'm just not a big fan of just orcs being evil for the sake of being evil. And also, with me being a fan of orcs, I did some research on the lore. And in my personal opinion, I side with them. Like, if you don't know, pretty much, I don't know all these gods' names and everything, so I'm just going to call them like the elf god, the dwarf god, and the human god, whatever. So my boy Grunch and all, like, he's the orc god. He was supposed to go to a meeting where all the other guys were going to go, and they were going to divide the earth, and everybody's going to have their territory. For whatever reason, he's late, and I do blame the elf god because those elves, they just do some whack stuff like that. So he goes there. The elf god took the forest for himself. The dwarves took the mountain for themselves. And the humans got everything else. And they just go in and just laughing at my boy. So Grunch is like, nah, like, y'all just gonna laugh at me and everything and think I'm a little punk. So how about this? I'm taking everything. I can understand that. I side with Grunch. Like, Grunch just wanted his own place for his people, and y'all pretty much tricked him out of it. How is Grunch the bad guy in this? Please, explain that to me. I don't think that's fair at all. If anything and stuff like that, it's freaking elves, which is another thing. I'm not going to lie. Because I like orcs, I really don't like elves. And the only reason why I don't like elves is the fact is that, they are like the privileged class of Dungeons and Dragons. You know how many different subclasses of elves we have? We got full elves, we got half elves, we got wood elves, we got underworld elves and everything. What the heck, my light? Sorry about that. We got underworld elves, we got sea elves, we got space elves. Like, do we really need 15 different subclasses of elves? But I only get one half-orc. That's it. I don't get mountain half-orcs and everything. I don't get city half-orcs. I don't get none of them. But if I want to play an elf and everything, oh man, I got 20 subclasses I could choose from. But what, and then they get all the cool abilities. Oh man, I can't be put to sleep. I only need to sleep for 4 hours. I know magic, blah, 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 whatever. It is what it is. I hate, whatever, man. I just, like, elves just always rub me the wrong way. And I will say this. Here's another thing. I understand that people like to go and say, when it comes to orcs, we need to separate, pretty much what goes on in the real world and the fantasy. We got to separate it, which I can't understand, and I try to do that. One of the reasons why I play D&D is for escapism. All right. With life, with stuff going on with work, family, relationships, money, and just with the world in general, I like to be able to play D&D and forget about all the stuff that happens in the world. Now, I will add, if you haven't noticed, I am black, all right? And I live in America, all right? So, unfortunately, when I turn on the news, go on social media, I'm reminded of race and racism every day, all right? Unfortunately, it is what it is, all right? I'm not trying to go and say everything is racist, but when you look at the news and stuff like that, there's always something being mentioned about it. So when I go and play Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to play a half elf, not half elf, I'm sorry, a half orc, and I go and see the blacksmith because I want him to, try to repair my axe, and I'm being told he don't like me and everything because I'm a dirty, filthy orc, and the orcs raided town and killed his brother, so he don't like him. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, oh my goodness, really? So, and I understand that. Okay, I understand it's a game, and I'm really not an orc. I totally understand that. However, I guess when it comes to certain aspects of like racism in Dungeons and Dragons, I personally rather not have to deal with it. Oh, that's just me, okay? And I personally like games where we go, hey, the party goes into a tavern and there's a dragonborn, an elf, a dwarf, a tiefling, and everybody's just hanging out and having a good time and stuff like that, and not worrying about all that, okay? So that's just my thing. All right, I could play a great D&D game and race not even be a factor in it. All right. So, and I understand that some people, hey, they may not be so sensitive to it, and I get it. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not the type of person that, if that happens and stuff like that, I'm gonna stop the game and have to walk away. Not the case, It's just I'd rather not deal with it. So with the new D&D, with half orcs being, half orcs are they changed the whole lore with them. It's more, you know, satisfying and less controversial. I think that's a step in the right direction. Okay, and for all the DMs out there that's a little bit upset about it, you have a whole big dungeon, not dungeon map, but monster manual full of monsters that you could pick from. All right, pick anything. All right, pick any other monster that you want us to fight. It doesn't always got to be orcs. Give the other races a chance to be evil, please. All right, that's my take on orcs not being in the monster manual. Please let me know how you feel about it. I'll definitely love to hear your opinions of it. And yeah, once again, if you haven't, please like, subscribe. Definitely helps the channel. And I'm hoping that this channel becomes popular and I can quit my job. So thank you, love you. Continue to roll some dice. Bye.